Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Siendo Primero, a radio show dedicated to celebrating the vibrant Hispanic and Latino community in the United States. Here, we embrace diversity, culture, and the stories that make us who we are.
Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Siendo Primero, un programa de radio dedicado a celebrar la vibrante comunidad hispana y latino en los Estados Unidos. Aquí abrazamos la diversidad, la cultura y las historias que nos hacen ser quien somos.
My name is Angelica Albarran,
My name is José Martínez.
and you are tuned to Siendo Primero on board the Radio COFA, a service of Arizona Western College since 1970. If you like Siendo Primero, you can find us at kwac.org or in the COFA app. This is the 71 edition of Siendo Primero, y el día de hoy hablaremos de que no todos llegamos al mismo tiempo y está bien.
La narrativa tradicional sobre la universidad suele presentarse como un camino lineal. Entras, estudias sin interrupciones y te gradúas en 4 años. Sin embargo, esta idea no refleja la realidad de muchos estudiantes. La experiencia universitaria no es una carrera con un solo modelo de éxito. Cada persona avanza a su propio ritmo y tiene sus propios desafíos. No todos los caminos son rectos, y está bien que no lo sean. Hay quienes necesitan más tiempo para completar su carrera o deben repetir alguna materia, y eso no debe interpretarse como un fracaso.
Para muchos estudiantes, especialmente los de primera generación, la presión es aún mayor. Al ser los primeros en su familia en asistir a la universidad, sienten una carga emocional fuerte. El deseo de cumplir con sus expectativas familiares y no decepcionar a quienes han hecho sacrificios para que puedan estudiar. Cuando las cosas no salen como esperaban, ya sea por reprobar una materia o decidir tomarse un semestre libre, el sentimiento de culpa puede ser abrumador. Esta presión, aunque bien intencionada, puede afectar seriamente la salud emocional del estudiante.
Una parte del problema radica en cómo la sociedad ha normalizado que más rápido es mejor. Desde pequeño se nos enseña que avanzar sin detenerte es sinónimo de éxito. Sin embargo, a veces ir más despacio no es retroceder. Detenerse es necesario para que el cuerpo y la mente se recuperen. Muchos estudiantes se sienten agotados hasta el punto de no poder concentrarse, y esta fatiga no desaparece por seguir forzándose. Reconocer la necesidad de un descanso puede marcar la diferencia entre rendirse o continuar con una fuerza renovada.
En este contexto, la salud mental adquiere un papel crucial. A menudo se ignora por considerar la secundaria frente a las clasificaciones o los plazos académicos. Sin embargo, sin estabilidad emocional todo se vuelve más difícil. Muchos estudiantes deciden pausar sus estudios porque ya no pueden con la carga emocional y académica. Aunque al principio sienten culpa, más adelante comprenden que este tiempo fuera les permitió regresar más fuertes, enfocados y conscientes de lo que realmente desean lograr.
Tomarse una pausa permite reflexionar. Esta palabra, aunque simple, es poderosa. En el mundo académico muchas veces no se cuestiona si el rumbo elegido es el correcto. Reducir la carga académica, repetir una materia o tomarse un tiempo libre brinda espacio para pensar en preguntas importantes. ¿Qué quiero lograr con mi carrera o si estás en el camino adecuado? Reflexionar con honestidad es clave para tomar decisiones que estén alineadas con nuestros valores y aspiraciones.
Estas decisiones, por supuesto, no son siempre fáciles, sobre todo cuando se observa que otros avanzan con rapidez. Es normal sentirse desfasado o quedarse con la sensación de estar perdiendo terreno, pero compararse con los demás rara vez es útil. Cada estudiante vive una realidad distinta, con circunstancias y desafíos únicos. Lo importante es recordar que cada proceso es válido y que avanzar a un ritmo diferente no le quita valor a tu esfuerzo.
Existe además una presión social por ir al corriente, lo que puede ser bastante mala. Lo que realmente importa no es cuánto tiempo tarda una persona en terminar su carrera, sino cómo se siente con lo que ha construido durante ese proceso. Algunos estudiantes pueden tardar 6 años en lugar de 4, y en ese tiempo adicional no solo profundizan en su campo de estudio, sino que también aprenden sobre sí mismo. Lejos de ser un retraso, ese tiempo extra puede ser la clave para una vida más plena y con propósito.
Este mensaje es especialmente relevante para estudiantes latinos, muchos de los cuales provienen de familias que han hecho enormes sacrificios para que puedan estudiar. Para estos jóvenes, tomarse un descanso o reducir su carga académica puede parecer una falta de respeto al esfuerzo familiar, pero en realidad cuidar de uno mismo no es un desperdicio, sino una inversión en el futuro. Una mente y cuerpos sanos tienen más probabilidades de alcanzar el éxito a largo plazo.
Es importante también considerar que graduarse rápido no garantiza estabilidad emocional ni profesional. Muchos estudiantes se apresuran a terminar sin reflexionar si realmente desean trabajar en el campo que eligieron. Tomándose más tiempo puede evitarse errores costosos y callejones sin salida. Además, el mundo laboral no exige una fecha fija para empezar. Las empresas valoran la experiencia, la madurez y las habilidades adquiridas y no únicamente el número de años que te llevó a obtener el título.
Durante estos periodos de pausa o ajuste, los estudiantes pueden aprovechar para desarrollarse en otras áreas. Pueden involucrarse en actividades extracurriculares, aprender nuevos idiomas, hacer voluntariado o conectar más con su comunidad. Todo esto suma a su crecimiento como personas integrales y les da herramientas adicionales para enfrentar el mundo real de forma más completa y resiliente.
Y pues nada, ya personalmente esto me cae, ¿cómo decirlo? Pues nada, me pegó en nervio, por así decirlo.
Ujú,
Me dio un lugar blandito, porque yo ahorita te lo juro que parece que estoy haciendo un maratón de clases.
ujú.
Mi advisor me pregunta, ok, ¿cuántas clases vas a querer? Y yo respondo que sí.
Nada
O
más.
sea, sí,
Sí,
todas las que haya.
todas.
Y no, 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 no. Pregúntame ahorita qué tan quemado estoy, qué tan cansado estoy de la cabeza. No, 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 estoy muy mal, pero sí se puede. O sea, ya me acostumbré al ritmo, ya, ¿cómo decirlo? Soy bulletproof.
Ujú,
Entonces, no lo sé. Sí les diría a las personas que disfruten un poquito más el camino, porque yo ahorita me siento como muy disperso.
ujú.
Siento que estoy aprendiendo un poquito de todo, siendo que debería estar aprendiendo un
De una
montón
cosa.
de todo.
Ujú,
Entonces, siento que estoy dejando como todo muy a medias ahí, así con medios conocimientos, sí
ujú.
tengo las nociones, pero no las domino.
Pero igual, como nos comentan aquí, no hay prisa, no te preocupes. Si en algún punto de tu vida necesitaras una pausa, no hay problema, no es el fin del mundo. Yo ya lo hice y no es el fin del mundo, lo puedo confirmar. Porque hay veces que es necesario, hay veces que te enfadas, que terminas mal después de todo o algo pasa o lo que sea y necesitas un tiempo para ti para recuperarte y no está mal. Y es común, es más común de lo que nosotros pensamos.
Sí, sí, es que en papel me lo sé. O sea, yo sé que no tengo prisa, pero yo personalmente tengo esta urgencia por ya completarlo, ¿sabes?
Ujú.
O sea, en este summer estoy agarrando como 4 clases. Estoy agarrando lo que es un semestre normal en un summer. Entonces, no voy a tener vacaciones. Y
No.
yo sé que me va a pesar un montón no haberme dado estas 2 semanas para irme a la playa. Pero ¿por qué lo estoy haciendo? Porque más que nada, en lugar de estar haciendo como carreritas, yo lo estoy haciendo para acomodar mi plan de estudios. ¿Por qué? Porque entré en un semestre chueco, por así decirlo.
Ujú,
El semestre que la mayoría de gente entra es en fall, en otoño. Yo entré en spring. Entonces, regularmente las clases en el spring semester son clases que ocupan prerequisites de un fall semester. Entonces, fue un desastre entrar a la universidad, hacerme transfer a la universidad en spring, porque
ujú,
somos una universidad muy chiquita aquí en Yuma. En EU, si bien tiene de todo, es
ujú,
muy chiquita. Lo
ujú.
que significa que tenemos muy pocos docentes, en especial para ingeniería, para mechanical engineering. Tenemos muy poquitos profesores, son como tres.
Y es mucho más pesado así.
Ajá, y aparte de que, pues, ellos también son profesores en AWC, no tienen, o sea, no es como que te puedan dar las clases que ya dieron. No, son contados los profesores que dan esas clases. O las agarras este semestre o no las agarras.
Y
Entonces,
te fuiste así.
y te fuiste así. Entonces, ya entramos en un punto donde todo es prerequisite de todo. Entonces, lo que estoy haciendo ahorita en el summer es como alcanzar lo que no hice en ese semestre para ya ponerme al corriente y si se puede, terminar mi degree con mis amigos al mismo tiempo. Entonces, todos estamos haciendo como que pushing,
Ujú.
pero es muy cansado, es muy agotante. Y
Pero igual, la verdad, sí, si ese es el mismo pensamiento de tus amigos y todas las personas que te rodeas, la verdad está bien. O sea, estás en un círculo bien que te está motivando a hacer lo que tú quieres,
sí, sí,
¿sabes?
sí.
E igual te digo, o sea, si alguien más está como en una situación diferente, que está en una, por ejemplo, que está en un círculo así donde todos los demás quieren, no sé, terminar su degree rápido, o a lo mejor es, imagínate que alguien de tu grupo de repente dijera, oh, ya no sé, ya no puedo, o
Sí,
no puedo seguir ese ritmo, y pues
sí,
eso no tiene nada de malo, ¿sabes?
sí,
Y ya, o sea,
exacto.
no tendría por qué nadie decirte nada, ni tendrías por qué tener miedo de decirlo, pero igual,
Es una
te
posibilidad.
sirve mucho juntarte con personas que tienen la misma meta que tú, para que
Exacto.
puedas seguir avanzando.
Sí, pues sí, referentes, porque recuerdo los primeros semestres que ya había empezado con mis milestones
Ujú,
de ingeniería. Está bien feo no poder hablarle a nadie porque nadie está teniendo lo que tú estás estudiando. Entonces, no sé, está muy a gusto y la verdad siento que si estuviera estudiando solos en mis amigos de que me han acompañado todo el trayecto,
ujú,
me desmotivaría un montón. ¿Por
ujú.
qué? Porque ya estuve un semestre
Así, ujú,
afuera y no, está muy gris, está muy desmotivante y como que no me dan ganas de hacer nuevos amigos.
ujú, sí.
My name is Angela Guzman, and you are tuned to Siendo Primero on board the Radio Cofa, a service of Arizona Western College for 54 years. If you like Siendo Primero, you can find us at kwc.org or on the Cofa app. Hi, I hope you're having a great day. Today, I have the pleasure of sharing a very special conversation with you. Today, I'm with Celine. Celine, can you just introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Celine Diaz. I came from New York and I'm currently partaking in AWC. This is my technically my second year here. So my major is nursing. I'm currently working for CNA though.
Well, can you tell me what does it mean to you to be a first generation student here?
I think being a first generation student means to dive into the unknown. Because as I enter into a different college, and nonetheless, I came into AWC not knowing Spanish that well. And I came to understand that the majority of the population here spoke purely Spanish. So I think I found that a bit more confusing because I was so accustomed to just knowing people who spoke English, and I didn't really have the opportunity to converse with others who spoke Spanish. So, like, stepping in, I think, first of all, I think the majority of us deal with financial aid. While I was entering into college in general, I didn't know what to do. So that was another unknown. I was scared to even apply to college, and I didn't know how I was even going to pay for college. Because at the time I was probably 18, 19 years old, I was technically an immigrant. I couldn't apply for FAFSA or any support until I found an application that allowed for me. So I think the majority of individuals don't know this, but it is called the Dreamers. So, and it allowed for those who don't have a green card, aren't a citizen, to apply for the scholarship. And for me, it was a saint call, honestly. It allowed me to enter into my first year of college, which was in Brooklyn, New York, Kingsborough Community College. Because if I'm being honest with you, it was a safe school. Not one of the most ideal schools for me, but I got in. I got into all my safe schools, so that was good. Then came the whole application process. I think it took a lot of turmoil between my family, though, the most. I came from just a single mother, and I only have a sister. So being the first is just heading into a deep hole.
Well, I think you mentioned something that you were afraid, right? Yeah. So can you tell me if you were afraid of something else? Maybe because, you say that you're the oldest and, like giving this path to your sister. Do you have like anything you're afraid of?
I think just getting to know people. It takes a lot to just get out of your shell, and just ask for help. Because I grew accustomed to never asking for help. So that was foreign to me. But I think I got more used to it as I came to this region of Arizona. As now I expanded more on just getting to know more people and talking to more people. I think just expanding your social circle helps a lot in asking for help.
Can you tell me what was one of the biggest challenge when you come like to Arizona? Because I mean it's so different. It's very different. So can you tell me like one of your biggest challenges here?
Transportation. In New York, you have the bustle life, that's for sure. You have the trains, the buses, the taxis, obviously, which are taxis for one are expensive. But I think because of that, I never had the opportunity to learn to drive. My stepdad does know how to drive, but I don't. I didn't find it as a necessary skill until I arrived here in Arizona. And to be honest, I still don't know how to drive. So that's a work in progress for me. But for now, I just get a taxi, get to school, and then pay for another taxi to get me back.
And can you tell me what helped you the most in your first year?
First year here?
Yeah.
The advisors, for sure. My advisor in particular was Maria Guzman. She is amazing. As I first got here, I was transferring my credits from Kingsborough to AWC, and that took a whole lot of things going on. And she was there just helping me figure out what courses I had to take the first year because I had to transfer all of them to the school. And then she had to evaluate them and all of that. So I think I appreciate my advisor because the first day I came here, I remember my cousin was with me because I didn't even know where AWC was, and she did, but I didn't. So she took me here, and I got to know Maria Guzman. On that same day, I filed for FOSFA, and my classes were taken. So it was like a whole roller coaster just getting accustomed to that. Because at the time, I was able to apply for FOSFA. At the time, it was my first time, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I think it was a woman that helped me fill out the FOSFA application, and it felt like a whole weight off, honestly, just filling that form out. For me, I think I just appreciate the people that were around me at the time that truly helped me around a lot.
Can you like tell me what is one of the biggest difference between the college here and in New York? Like one of the biggest.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned that my major is nursing. At the time in Kingsborough Community College, they don't require you to be a CNA before applying. So all I had to do was my prerequisites there and then apply for the nursing program. But here I found a difference that I did require to be a CNA before applying to the RN program. So I think I found that a bit more challenging just because it was a bit more of a setback for me. But I think being in the program right now, I also understand that it is an essential part to understand the CNA course and then become a nursing, just so I can learn to appreciate more of the people that are around me, more of the people that may be experiencing the first part and then moving on to the next part.
Well, can you tell me like if you have any advice you will say to someone that is getting like in the same situation as you, or maybe one advice you wanted to give to your younger yourself?
If I had to give any advice, it's just seek for help. Send out emails, call, but just seek it out because it's better to know answers and be left in the unknown. And if if I were to talk to my younger self, this is strange, but I would say nothing because I had this saying. It's weird, but I keep telling my younger self that, and my current self, that you did good, Celine. You did it. And that's it. Honestly, you just have to get through it. There's nothing that's going to break it. You just have to get through it.
I think it not only like means something to you. I think it means something that all of the BTS fans. So well, thank you for sharing time with you. It was a pleasure to talk with you. And for today, this is all. So thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Today we are here with.
Eduardo Alvarez, aka Eddie.
Okay, do you prefer to keep the interview in English, in Spanish? Do you have any preferences?
We can do a mix of both. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, it's fine.
But for the most part, I'll respond in English for the most part.
Perfect. Okay, Eddie. I'm gonna call you Eddie because all of us called you Eddie. If you are good with that, I wanna ask you. You are a graduated student already. You have your bachelor's degree already. I wanna ask you. Did you go to AWC? Which university you went to?
So I started here in AWC as a systems engineering. Well, not systems engineering. Here, I just did the HKS
The HKS.
for engineering and science, which is just the associates that you can do here at AWC. And systems engineering was a brand new curriculum that they had opened up when I got out of high school, and that was the immediate discipline that I chose.
Do you remember how long ago was this? How long ago you enrolled to AWC and how long ago you
I
transferred to U of A?
enrolled in 2014. It was
Okay.
on and off because originally it was a long journey because originally I had been advised when I was still an AWC student to only take 2 classes a semester.
Okay.
Yes.
That's long.
That ruined it for me. And by the time I got on the right track with a real advisor, so I was going to somebody who stopped working at the EB building, but
Okay.
they weren't even a real advisor for engineering, and
Okay.
they had told me, "You're good with 2 classes a semester," and
Oh,
I ran with that. I because I had no other guidance. I did not speak with my classmates, and I did not actually go to a
okay, okay.
counselor.
You were like introverted. You didn't want to talk to your
Yes,
friends.
yes.
Okay, that's a pretty common topic here on this podcast, because usually we get a lot of people that tells us, okay, I was super afraid. I didn't know anything about this, but my friends and my clubs, they helped me a lot because I talked to them. But I think you're the first person that tell me this.
It was really bad. I wish I could have wish I could go back in time and gone upstairs and started talking with a counselor from the 3C building.
Okay.
But I didn't learn until about 2 years after, and then
Okay.
I started taking the 4 classes.
That's a couple.
Yeah, it was too late.
Yeah, it was too late.
It was too late. The damage had been done.
Well, could you mention it, because we have a question in this program that is an advice that you would give to your younger self. So you just gave it to me. Don't lose much time on it.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest advice is not that. The biggest is like don't dwell on the past. Don't what's done is done. Like the biggest advice is just finish. Don't
Finish.
just give up.
Okay.
Because that's the mistake that I always see people
Keep
make.
pushing.
Yeah, they think it's hard, or they think the career field isn't stagnant, or it doesn't
Uh-huh.
exist,
Yeah.
and they're not looking towards the bigger picture. Like, hey, you can move,
Uh-huh.
or hey, you can pay off this debt, or hey, maybe you can just go back to school, or maybe you can just learn something on the side. Like,
Do you think they give up so easily, too fast?
yeah, in my day, when I used to go to the game room all the time, I would see it all the time. Is what I would see predominantly is people would show up during fall, and that's when they're really motivated, and they'll pick up, engineering, or they'll pick up something tough, and they'll drop it within a year. Or
Yes, I'm gonna be a scientist.
I want to be an astronaut. I want to be this engineer, and they don't like the classes. They start blaming the professors,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh,
they don't finish.
yeah, they blame everyone except themselves.
A lot of guys did not finish, and they just left school. I personally took about almost a 2-year break from U of A
Okay.
from personal problems,
Okay.
and it wasn't because the school was hard.
Yeah.
Something happened at my household,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
it put me on pause,
Yeah, I
and
get
I
you.
had to go and reflect on like what I wanted to do.
I was
But
going to ask you, your trajectory, your studies were linear. You did pauses.
pass it, like, what do you mean?
Pauses.
Pauses? Yeah. I didn't do any pauses for AWC. Obviously I did fail a few
Uh-huh.
classes, but I just retook them.
Yep.
In U of A, yes, I did take a 2-year pause, and then I realized why am I doing this? I'm not. My whole point. I've already invested so much time and money
Yes,
and
yes.
effort into my university classes. Why would I drop out?
Exactly.
Yes, and so
Too far to quit.
yeah, my ex girlfriend and her mom, they convinced me that you know what, you need to go back to school and finish your systems degree.
Uh-huh.
And I started thinking about how a lot of my friends,
Yes.
like, they had a good success rate out of school. They went and got a career.
Okay.
Some of them waited a bit, but yeah, I'm getting off topic. But yes, I did
No,
take
it's fine,
pauses.
it's fine.
No, I'm trying not to.
Okay, okay, extend
Yeah,
it.
I'm not. I'm trying to stay on topic. So.
Okay, it's fine. I also want to ask you, because the normal program for engineering, like systems engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, they usually are 4 years long, 8 semesters. In the perfect scenario, like you don't fail any classes, you go to the perfect advisor on the right time, right place, and you took all the classes how you need to take them. That is the ideal case. It rarely happens. I want to ask you, skipping this 2 years break you mentioned, how long were you studying, or how long did it take you to get your bachelor's?
Probably 6 6 years
Okay.
altogether. And yeah, that's also, the break is one part. Another thing was I worked a lot because all of AWC was paid for out of pocket by me.
Oh, okay. You
I
didn't
worked,
receive any aids?
no, I did not because I was dependent on my parents for a while.
Okay.
And I never got any FAFSA, never got any scholarships for AWC. I did not get any FAFSA either for U of A. U of A was, I did one loan for U of A, and everything else was out of pocket.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
so
alone?
yes, one loan. I took one loan to cover one semester,
Uh,
5,000.
I don't know much about loans. The only thing I know is don't take them. Do you think
Yes, do not take them because they are designed to stay with you for
years?
years and years. Like I took out this loan probably like 5 years ago,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, do not do them. Yeah, it's better to just try and exhaust or try and use FAFSA. I did not get FAFSA,
Okay.
but yeah, back to
Yeah.
the like altogether, it took me about
Okay.
6 years of dedicated.
Okay. Are you from here, from Yuma? Did you come
No,
from another state, another country?
no, I am born here in the U.S. I was born in Indio, California, and
Uh-huh.
I moved to Arizona when I was 8, and then I didn't move to Yuma until I was 20. So no, I'm not from Yuma. And the only reason I moved here was because I grew up on a farm. So once I finished high school, I decided I want to go to school
Mm-hmm.
because I'm, I do not want to work on a farm for the rest of my life.
Okay.
So
Great. So, are you a first generation student? Are you the first one in your family?
yes, I'm a first generation student.
Okay.
And yes, I am the first in my family to graduate.
Great. I want to ask you, after you graduate, did you struggle to find a job?
Not even close. As soon as I graduated from U of A, I went straight to the Trax website and I applied to work at YPG as a test engineer for aviation
Okay.
systems, electronic testing at YPG, Human Proving Ground. And it took 2 months because that's how long the background process takes. Otherwise, I would have gotten a lot sooner. But no, to answer the question, I did not struggle whatsoever to find a job as soon as I graduated.
Okay. How long have you been working for?
2 years.
2 years?
Exactly. Yeah, 2 years as of last month.
Okay. Is it good? Do you feel comfortable? Do you like what you do?
I do like what I do. It's not a lot of actual engineering, but in terms of systems, which is my degree,
Mhm.
it's a lot of project management, which is
Oh,
one thing they really focus on,
dealing with people,
dealing with people more than anything, because my job requires me to be
the head.
the head when you're executing. You're the one
Okay.
who is supposed to be calling the
Leading.
shots. Yeah, you're the leader on site when the test is happening.
Okay. You mentioned that you were introverted back then. How do you get to being introverted to deal with people and lead people?
Um, I would say clubs. So what got me out of it was the game room.
Okay.
So the game room was where the original ping pong club happened,
Hmm.
and that's where I met a lot of people, and that's where I realized that I do have real leadership skills.
Okay. Fun fact for those who are not around here in the Mac building at AWC, Eddie is really, really good playing ping pong. When I see him playing, it's just crazy how he even I don't know. It's just undescribable.
It's just years of practice, but yeah, but yeah, it transcends just the game itself, and
Okay.
the game room and the club have a deep meaning in that they'll pull you out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
So I was really introverted when I got out of high school. During high school, I didn't have more than 5 friends.
Hmm.
And then I used to go to the game room just to get away from people because I did not like interacting with people at all. And
I,
that's where
I think that's the
yeah, that's a
opposite.
lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people coming out of high school are like that when they're really young, like 18 or 19,
Yeah.
and they think they can just be like that, and that's fine. But if you just stay to yourself and you just focus on your studies, you're neglecting
The social life.
the social life and leadership skills.
Uh-huh.
So if you're just a wallflower, you're kind of missing out on those key skills, because once you finish school and you get put into a position like that where you have to do a lot of public speaking, or you have to lead a whole test like me, and you tell people what to do, you're going to be shy
Yeah.
and you're not going to be confident.
Okay.
But well, I'm not
Did
saying
that happen to you?
no, it did not. It did at first when I was new,
Uh-huh.
but once you know what you're doing and what's supposed to happen, and you know all of the SOPs, and you know what you're supposed to be doing during this test, you're pretty confident, right? And people on the test, be it customers or other YPG personnel, they want to see the test officer
Yeah. Confident.
to be they want to see a confident test officer who's knowledgeable. He's not complaining.
Mm-hmm.
He
He's
he
doing the things.
he wants
He's working.
to execute, which is
Exactly.
something that is very heavy. Something we heavily emphasize is, when you're boots on ground, they don't want to see any complaining. They don't want to see holdups.
Uh-huh.
They want to see somebody who can get the test done.
Strong enough.
Yes, but yeah, going back to skills, right? Introverted and all that. It started all at the game room.
Okay.
So that's how I transitioned from introvert
To
to
extrovert.
extrovert.
Great. That's nice. So that would be a good advice too. Just
I
go
think
to
that's
clubs,
great advice. Clubs, you meet
sports.
people. Yes, you become exposed to different personalities.
Yeah, all kind of persons.
Not just your typical people you interact with, but like people who are more formal,
Okay.
people who are a little more professional.
Usually we don't have these kind of profiles like you. I want to ask you a question that I asked to nobody. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Um, if I decide not to move from Yuma, I'm still gonna be here at Yuma Proving Ground. I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is just becoming a civilian, which is a government employee,
Okay.
but still doing the same thing I do.
Uh-huh.
But if the need does not arise for me to leave, and YPG treats me good, I'll just stay. But if there's a better career opportunity, then I might leave.
Okay.
But yes, in 5 years, to say for certain, I would probably just stay at YPG.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen. Nobody
of things,
knows
yes.
life turns.
Yes.
But all right. Well, do you have any last advice? Anything you would like to leave before we leave?
My biggest piece of advice for when you're younger, like early 20s,
Uh-huh.
find something that you're passionate about and dedicate, because life is short.
Okay.
Yes, it's not all just having fun and going out on the weekends and just playing I don't know, Rocket League all the time. Life hits you, and I'm not just saying like family and kids. It's like other priorities come up,
Yeah.
and
Life happens.
life happens. So you got to find something to dedicate to that not only will give you money, but something that you're passionate about, because it's not all about the money.
Okay.
So some people go to school here thinking only for the money, but a perfect example is people will go to school, finish their entire bachelor's, and then get their first career with that bachelor, and they realize they do not like the career field,
Yeah.
and they quit it in 1 year, come right back to school, pick up a completely different career field, a completely different discipline, completely different degree.
Just don't give up.
Just don't give up, because if you give up, I know a lot of people say don't give up on school, but if you want to go past school, don't give up. Just find something to dedicate to, because if you decide to just stay, be sedentary and stay where you're at, like if you're happy working at,
Yeah.
not happy, but if you're happy not accomplishing anything, like you start things but you never finish them,
You stay in your comfort zone.
you're staying in your comfort zone. Exactly. Great wording. And that's not, if you want to be successful in life, don't just stay in your comfort zone, and you need to push yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, getting your dreams done costs a lot of money, and it costs a lot of time.
Yep.
It'll cost you friendships. But, it's not just, I'm not talking about finishing school. Like, maybe you want to get certified in something. Maybe you want to become a truck driver.
Yep.
But all I can say is find something that you're passionate about, dedicate, stay motivated.
Great. That was a nice advice. That was wise. I'm gonna say that was wise.
Thank you.
All right.
Another one.
Perfect. Eddie, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your stories, your knowledge, obviously, because you have a lot of experience by now. I'm pretty sure for me, this was really awesome because I have a lot of doubts about the future, jobs, and hearing yourself and like these advices you gave me, they help so much. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people that will take advantage of
Yes,
this.
I can say confidently for engineering, you can get a career field. If you don't find it here in Yuma,
Move.
you have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very fortunate that as soon as I've graduated, I
Yeah.
went online, and they were hiring at YPG, and they hired me up almost immediately.
Great.
And I am very fortunate, and I thank U of A, and I thank my teachers, and I thank my classmates that I would study group with, and I thank my parents. But yes, I am fortunate that I have U of A for essentially getting me the career that I have right now.
Great. Gotta be grateful.
Hmm.
All right. Eddie, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.